Hello, hello, hello. So a little bit of a random one, but I've got clients and things this afternoon. So I just wanted to pop in and talk about the pitching thread yesterday. So there are a few different things I wanted to say. Obviously, I wanted to announce the winner. I'm just going to check that I'm live. Sometimes Facebook on the laptop has the lovely, lovely talent of making sure that I'm not actually live. So I talk to myself, which, I mean, it's great. I find myself really entertaining, but okay, perfect. So I am live. Wonderful. So let's start off with some critiques of the pitching. I've been through all the pitches. I've given everybody individual feedback. So if you haven't seen your individual feedback yet, make sure you go and check that out. And I want to say that there were some phenomenal pitches and kind of go through some of the elements that made some pitches really, really stand out for me. And some things that I probably bring into pitching if you're doing it moving forward. So let's talk about some of the good things that really came up when it comes to pitching in the thread today. I'm just pulling the thread up as well, so I've got everything in my back pocket and ready to go. And obviously, if you are here, make sure that you say hi and make sure that you share it with anyone else that you think would be interested. There we go. Okay, good. So the great things about some of the pitches. So things that I really liked about certain pitches in here in the thread were that some people took the time to make them really, really personalized. Now, personalized doesn't have to mean long, it doesn't have to mean elongated, but it has to show that you know me and you know what it is that I'm looking for right now. So a really good example of that was Lisa Wallace, who, if someone could tag Lisa, that would be amazing. But Lisa, basically in her pitch, she wrote out about the fact that I was doing a bunch of speaking gigs later this year. She talked about the fact that I really like wine, I really like food, and that I don't particularly want to give up either of those things. And she worked that into her pitch for a great health coaching, like weight loss experience. Now, I thought that was really, really solid because it showed that she'd actually done some research into me. She knew who I was. She knew what it was that I was probably going to be looking for. She knew as a client how I was probably going to be looking to work and what I would give up, wouldn't give up, how committed I'd be, all of those kinds of things. Another person who did this really well was Emma Perrell. So Emma went in, she did an amazing video, but she talked about why it would be right for my business, why improving my Trello skills would be right for my business. And I want to talk about her pitch in a little minute under another section as well. So the key thing about pitching is that it's not about you. It's not about the person who's pitching it. It's not about the seller. It's about the person who's going to be buying. I don't know if there are any comments. I might be missing them. Bear with. Sometimes, again, laptop on Facebook Live is just not jam. Oh, there we go. Let me just turn that down so I can see it. So make sure that when you are pitching something, it is specifically about your buyers. It's about their needs. It's about their wants. It's about what's going to appeal to them. Some other good things that came up in the pitching thread were the self-identifiers. So, hey, Nicola. So some people use really, really good self-identifiers. They ask specific questions. Do you feel like this? Is this something that you're struggling with right now? How could you feel if X changed? And that was really, really good because it gave me the ability to be like, oh, do I really self-identify as that person? So somebody who did that really well was Stacey Speaker. She talked about, do you know somebody who is struggling to communicate or has to have hard conversations and doesn't like it? And that made it really specific. She wasn't asking me if I didn't like hard conversations, because Stacey's perfectly aware that I don't mind them. But she was asking specifically, who do you know that would identify as somebody who doesn't like having hard conversations and who would like to improve that skill? Okay, so that was really, really good. The other thing I really liked that came up in the pitch thread was the amount of research that people had done into me, into my brand, and into what they could potentially do. Now, this is something that you can't always do with clients, specifically if you're trying to sell group things or memberships or anything where there's going to be tons and tons of people. But if you're selling something that's high ticket, going into detail like Tony did, or like Emma Perrell's did, or like Louise Mason did, it means that I can actually see Great, that person's taken the time out to go and look at my brand. That person's taken the time out to go and look at my website. They've looked at my marketing. And if you work in that specific area, it's really handy for me to go, oh, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, Lorraine, how are you, my love? Now, that was a really powerful one for me, because the thing is, in the brief that I put in the post yesterday, some people really followed it, and I talked about sell me something. Tell me, give me feedback on something that you'd like to see that would be different, something that you'd like to see that I could improve, or somewhere that you think I could improve. And some people looked at the brief and went, yeah, great, got it. And some people looked at the brief and went, yeah, no, cool, I'm just going to go do my thing. And so that meant that some of the decisions around who was going to win the pitch was going to be easier than others. So if you're pitching for something that's a specific opportunity, if you're pitching for a contract, if you're pitching for a corporate proposal, if you're pitching for a tender or something like that, make sure that you understand the brief and that you clarify. If you've got any questions like, hey, Jess, you've given us a $150 budget. Could I pitch you something that isn't chargeable, or could I pitch you a discovery call? I'd have come back to you and been like, no. Pitch me the thing for 150. That's what I want. That's what I've specified in my brief. So make sure that if you're going out there, if you're looking at things like contracts, tenders, anything like that, proposals, that you are answering the questions, that you are fulfilling the brief. Otherwise, you'll find that it doesn't matter how great your proposal is, you're going to miss out, not because you weren't the best person, but because you didn't listen to what they were asking for. Okay? Hey, Debbie, how are you? So that was the third point. The other thing is, there are 2,000 people in this group. There are over 2,000 people in this group now. And yet we had, 12 pitches? 12. That's less than 1%. And yet you're all in here to learn about sales. If you're given the opportunity to pitch, please do. You know, I was very, very clear. I don't necessarily want something that's business. I want the best pitch, the best thing that you think I could use right now. It doesn't have to be business. I was like, it could be mindset, could be relationship, could be health, could be anything. And yet only 12 people pitched out of 2,000. Now, one of those things is you've got to look at why you didn't pitch. So if you didn't make a pitch, think about that. Was it a lack of confidence? Was it you didn't really know what to say? Was it you didn't think I'd be interested and therefore didn't go ahead and take the opportunity? If it was because you didn't think I'd be interested in the opportunity, it's a massive assumption. You know, and I'm about to talk about the pitch winners and, you know, why they've won and why I'm excited about working with those people. Giving away a massive secret there, haven't I? People instead of person. But never assume that somebody will not want to buy. Because if you don't put yourself out there, they're not going to buy. Not because, again, you're not the best at what you do, not because they don't want it, but because you didn't tell them. So if you get opportunities like this in groups, in, you know, the business world, on LinkedIn, whatever it is, make sure you are putting yourself out there. Because if you're not pitching, then you can't expect to get it. You know, you can't ever expect it. But Debbie, this is the thing, right? So you're saying I don't really have a service for you. I could want anything. I was like, I'm happy to do something on health, mindset, relationships. Like, it could be anything. I sat there and I actually emailed back to Langham. Me and Sam are staying there this weekend, and they sent me an email about branded wellies. Right? They sent me this thing 2 days ago about wellies that are being branded. They're hunter wellies that are being branded in the Langham colours. And I was like, I really want a pair, but every time I go to a sales page, there's no bloody buy button. Like, how can I buy them? Tell me. And they were like, oh, right? So I will buy literally anything, you know, and I have bought literally anything. I mean, I sat in front of a bloody fish tank that was an impulse buy. What I want is people who will go, okay, I'm going to sell you something that I think you need. So if you thought, okay, Jess, I think you really, really need a spa day, or I think you really, really need to, I don't know, I know that you're about to do some stuff with a website thing. I think you really need this kind of website shindig. You could have sold me that. Sell me anything. I don't care what you sell me. Sell me anything. Sell me things. Like, I want to buy all the things. Yeah. Sorry, Nicole, for all of the US among us. It's like, I don't know whether you guys call them galoshes. Maybe you do. But like Lorraine says, rubber boots that you wear in the rain. And they're really nice. I really want a pair. I will be buying a pair this weekend. If they put a buy button on their bloody website. So let's talk about the winning pitch is. So the first winning pitch for me has got to be Emma Perils. So if someone could tag Emma, that would be amazing. And what I really liked about Emma's pitch was she did a tailored video, which I thought was awesome because I could just sit there and watch it. And what I liked was how specific she was about her offer. Now, I'd given people a really tough budget. $150 isn't a lot. It makes it harder to come up with an offer that gives good value, but that doesn't completely rip you off, right, as the seller. So Emma gave me a really specific offer, which was 5 automations set up in Trello that were customized to my business. Now, I love that because I'm somebody who sits on my phone, and Emma knows this because she's in my membership, and I talk about it all the time. And, you know, if you can see my desk, it's like covered in Post-its of ideas and things going on and all this kind of stuff. And the reality is I don't want a desk necessarily covered in Post-its forever. So loved Emma's video, loved the specificity of the offer, loved how she took me through the actual value of it in a video, because I'm honest, if I'd have seen it in text, I'd have been a bit like, oh, right, okay, so I'm going to put some more Trello cards on. So what will that do? Actually seeing, oh, it sets up this automation, this will happen, and this is how it's going to impact my productivity and organization was really, really powerful for me. So Emma is our first winner. Yay, Emma. I'm very excited about this. I'm really excited about the show. What I might do is get Emma to kind of record a little case study afterwards so that she can walk through exactly what she's done with my business when it comes to Trello, because I think that would be really exciting. The second winner is Lisa Wallace. And the reason that Lisa won was because I did really like her pitch. I thought it was really solid. I liked that she thought about me. So if someone could tag Lisa, that would be awesome. I liked that she thought about what I wanted. I liked that she talked about I don't have to give up certain things. I am at a point in the moment, annoyingly, where I have to focus on health and fitness. I want to focus on what I look like. I want to look my best for the speaking events that I've got coming up and all that kind of stuff. So I want to go and do that as well. And I think that absolutely Lisa's program is a bloody steal. She needs to raise those prices. But again, you know, we want to make sure that we do case studies and things like that. And I promise I'll actually do the work. Like, I will do the work, Lisa. This is me publicly saying that I will do the work, but I'm not giving up wine. That's not happening for any reason at all. That's my only caveat. So those are our 2 winners, okay? And I'm super, super impressed with the pitches that were laid out there. The third person who I want to do something with, who refused to pitch me, which I'm like, as soon as she's got spaces, I'm going to be in there like a mouse on cheese. Everyone's like, we'll keep you accountable. Yeah, okay. Is obviously Tony Bausch. So if someone could tag Tony, that would be awesome as well. Now, what I really liked about this was that she'd gone through all of my different social media in an airport, right? So everyone says to me, oh, I didn't have time to write out a picture, or I didn't have time to think about it, or I didn't have time. Tony sat there in her 15 minutes on the runway or whatever, going, yeah, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. So what I'd like to do with Tony is record a podcast episode with her on the amazing things that she does in terms of strategy and laying that out and finding out what it is that she provides for her clients. But also I'd love to record a video with her doing that with me in my business, so that you guys can get to see the insider of how other people work and the case studies that we can provide. All right, so I'll be taking up all of those 3 lovely, lovely ladies and their amazing pitches. So Emma and Lisa, can you get in touch with me either by email or into my messenger? Email's probably better because I'll actually check it. With your PayPal email addresses so I can make sure I pay you, and then we'll get times and stuff set up for those services as well. And Tony, send me an email or drop me a message, whatever works best for you, and we'll get you hooked up with the podcast episode and everything like that so that we can get you promoted to my community as well. Awesome. All right, my loves, have a wonderful, wonderful days. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions on pitching, I am thinking about doing a pitching masterclass. If anyone's interested in that, just let me know on the replay or on here live. If you're interested in a pitching masterclass, learning how to pitch for different occasions like contracts, tenders, webinars, you know, pitching on discovery calls, all that kind of thing, let me know and I will set up a webinar for you guys shortly. All right, have wonderful, wonderful days. Thank you so much to everyone who participated. If you didn't participate this time, make sure that you look out for another opportunity at some point in the future. And please make sure that you do participate that time. Don't miss out. I'll see you I'll probably come in here on Thursday. I want to say Thursday, and do a live because I've got some other trainings that come in here as well. All right, see you soon.